Huge game for our guys. I couldn't be more proud or more happy for them. Obviously, losing 3 in a row, but when it's Boise and at San Diego State, at Wyoming, there'll be a lot of people losing those games. It's not easy when you've done that, and I thought our guys really responded because that's not easy. We led almost start to finish against a ranked opponent, and to pull away like we did at the end and just do all the things that we really wanted to do in the game. There was just incredible concentration, and couldn't be more pleased. It's a huge win. 16-4. We're 15-5 at this point last year. 16-4, winning 80% of the games. I've told the guys even after the loss at Wyoming, we got back. Look, the world's not going to end probably because we just lost at Wyoming. Let's forget white noise, and you guys are as good as anybody in this league. Let's just keep pounding away, and they did a great job tonight. This is a really good win.
Coach, what can you say just about your team's defensive performance to lead their leading scorers, hold them to single digits?
Well, I mean, Trey Coleman, it starts with Trey Coleman. Daniel Foster had him some. Hunter had him some. It's always a team effort. But Hunter, Daniel, and in particular Trey Coleman. Trey Coleman proved why he's all defensive. He's an all defensive player, and I think he's a strong candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. We got a lot of games yet to play, but the kid just really knows how to guard, and he takes it personal, and I thought that was a huge key. And Steven shows how good he is. You know, in a game where he doesn't score, he gets 10 assists and no turnovers. So he's just a very special player. And we have to work awfully hard on him, and Trey did a tremendous job on him.
Just for Jared Lucas to come out and he makes 10 field goals in a row there, I mean, it just seemed like he was firing up the whole rest of the team when he had that little stretch.
Well, it was huge. It was huge. I mean, Jared works incredibly hard, as all our guys do, but Jared takes a lot of things personal. He's doing a great job leading. I think he and Keenan and Trey, Keenan didn't have a very good road trip. And so sometimes it's captains that have to be challenged. And, he got challenged, and I thought Keenan really responded with a tremendous game. And Jared obviously he really got us over the hump with his scoring in the second half, and proud of how those guys played, because there's, when it goes the other way and all of a sudden instead of wins it's losses, you got to take the heat. And I thought they did a great job. I thought KJ was really good tonight, 22 minutes, and the key stat, 3 fouls. And Nick, all those starters played well, and I really liked what our bench did. The bench didn't score a lot. T. Pope did a great job, gave us great energy. And then Hunter and Daniel just really know how to guard, really know how to make the right plays, and just couldn't be more proud of what they did.
How special can this team be when you have Keenan and Jared combined for 48 or something along those lines?
Well, we've had good games like that before. I think whether it was Georgia Tech or TCU, we had a game like that as well. And, obviously everybody game plans for those guys, but I do think, Trey's been scoring really well. He didn't shoot the ball well tonight, but the way he guarded and the way he had 7 assists on the night and only 2 turnovers. And then Nick got in some foul trouble, only played 21 minutes, but had 10 and 7. So we got 3rd and 4th, and I think we'll eventually even get a 5th scorer going. But obviously those are your 2 main scorers, and they performed at a high level.
How needed was this win given the 3-game skid and then going into New Mexico?
Well, you got to try taking care of home. In this league this year, it's about taking care of home because the road, you see it every night. I mean, Boise won in the last 30 seconds at Fresno. Air Force goes in and wins at UNLV. You got to play well. I don't care if you're playing it here or on the road, and it's a very tough league. Wyoming played San Diego State really well for about 25 minutes last night. So it's a difficult league, and the 2 places we've lost, those are hard plays. You look at the history probably of Nevada basketball, it's probably not a very good record at Wyoming or at San Diego State, and hard place to play. And both places are hard places to play. And so those are behind us now. A lot of people still have to do those. But we know we got a difficult schedule. We don't get Utah State to come back here. We don't play at Air Force. We got a very difficult schedule ahead of us, and we got to take it one game at a time. and our guys really performed well. So couldn't be happier. We got a ranked win. Now we get another ranked opponent, this time on the road. So very pleased with what we did tonight.
Coach, how does this win build momentum going into New Mexico on Sunday?
Well, it's better than a loss, so we get that momentum. But, like I said, I think, you got a ranked team here that in Colorado State, they're 15-4 and 3-3. We're 16-4 and 3-3. With a more difficult schedule, better wins this year than last year through 20 games. So I couldn't be happier with these guys. They've handled some adversity here. We're not going to win every game. But these kids play hard, and I'm very proud of them. Obviously upset with our defense in the second half against Wyoming. That happens. They responded tonight and guarded a very efficient offense, and they guarded very well.
Coach, can you just talk a little bit about the game plan going into it against Stevens and how you guys were able to execute? I don't think he got his first point until like 15,
second half.
Yeah,
and the other thing, we kept him off the free throw line. So scorers know how to get to the free throw line, and he does such a good job at that, and those become easy points. Like Jared, Jared gets there 5 times tonight, and he's a 93% foul shooter. So anytime scorers can get easy points, so keep him off the foul line, and then just making it hard on him. He got 8 points on 16 shots. So I thought we just and length. We had length on him with both Daniel and Trey when those guys were on him. But that's a tough one. It's hard to guard him. He's a very special player. He has been ever since he came into this league. He's been a very special player. And I give him credit, like I said before, to not have your best scoring or shooting night, but still get 10 assists. That's how smart he is. He's not on, but he assists the ball. That's 20, somewhere between 20 and 30 points he accounted for just by passing the ball. And that's how special a player he is.
Can you just elaborate on Jared's play today after coming off 3 losses and the importance of what he's in?
Yeah, he's been playing well, especially offensively. And I thought he took a step in the right direction defensively of the way we need him tonight. But no turnovers, 2 assists, got 3 rebounds, 28 points on 14 shots. I mean, he was just really efficient, and he got it going. And, it's good to see that for him because he, like I said, he puts a lot of time in.
Coach, you touched a little bit on KJ before, but how nice was it to be able to have him in the game there and not have him get into foul trouble tonight?
Well, he just makes a difference. I don't have it in front of me how many fouls he drew, but he draws fouls. He's long and athletic defensively. He can score in the post. He draws double teams. So I couldn't be happier for him because he knows that San Diego State was foul trouble, Wyoming was foul trouble, and I think his teammates told him how important he is. But again, that's not easy then going into the next game, and he did a good job tonight of not playing in foul trouble.
And then Tylen Pope, too, coming in off the bench. It just seemed like he provided
tremendous
such a
energy,
spark.
and that's what we got to get out T. Pope. He gave us great energy and both ends. He rebounds, he cut hard, he played above the rim. That's what we need out of him. He's an older player and got 12 minutes, 7 points, 3 rebounds. Loved his energy. All right, thank you.
time Stevens had single digits?
He only did it once this year, and it was third. I really think he's had double figures.
Yeah.
For both of you guys, Jared, start with you then for Trey, but just how nice was it to be able to come home and get a win and snap this 3-game losing streak?
We knew that we needed it. I think we almost felt like, our couple days of practice this week were probably the best we've had, with a lot of energy and urgency. Of course, losing 3 games in a row isn't easy, but, being 16-4 at this point in the season isn't a bad start, but obviously a great bounce-back win for us, too.
Like Jared said, we knew we had to turn it around, and we were just really focused on our communication and our togetherness coming into this game, and I think it showed on the court.
Trey, for you, how important was it, or just how big was it to, be on Stevens the whole night and just to be able to hold him to single digits?
It was cool. I think I did a good job on him. He went 4 for 16 and had 8 points.
I'll comment on it. I think he stamped his first-team all-defense once again last year. First-team all-defense once again this year. It's going to be the same thing. But Stevens is a great player too, and so but Trey, great defender. So a great matchup, but Trey did his thing.
Just Jared, for you, what was clicking for you so well tonight, knowing you guys needed to come out and have a strong performance offensively again?
My teammates found me, especially when I had a little stretch where the ball everything was dropping for me. My teammates did a good job of finding me, and the ball felt good coming out of my hands.
Jared, I don't think it's any secret that when you perform well and Keenan perform well at the same time, that you guys are a lot better. What does it need to take for you guys to perform at this level consistently and be as efficient as you were?
I'm not sure if it could happen every night, but I think that when it does happen, like tonight, it's a great job for both of us. But I think overall with our team, when you look at plenty of guys down the line, I think Trey is one guy that comes to mind. When guys defend like they do, it opens up a lot of opportunities for both Keenan and I, who can score the ball really well.
You mentioned that you guys really needed this win, but at this point in the season, too, after the 3-game losing streak and before New Mexico, how big was this, given the timing?
Well, we knew that it was a must-win situation, but you also look at the Mountain West. I think this is the premier conference in the West Coast. So, night in, night out, you're going to have a battle. And we knew that we have a top 25 team coming in, and we had to handle business, and then we're going to go to New Mexico and have another top 25 team.
You guys come off the win tonight. How does that motivation help you guys going into Sunday night against New Mexico? Trey, I'll start with you. If you guys remember, Keenan Blackshear hit the game winner at New Mexico. So how does this game really get you guys prepared for that?
It gets us prepared a lot. We take it game by game. So we're just going to take what we did here and just try to move it on to New Mexico. New Mexico is a good team. I think their offense is better than Colorado State. So I think we're going to have to really focus on stopping those guys in the backcourt.
Yeah, Trey mentioned their guard play, 3 really good guards, and obviously the JT Toppin kid, I think, who's on some draft boards as well. But you have Mashburn, House, Dent. I'm sure they got plenty of other guys. They got the Dayton transfer as well. So they got some talent, and I think right now they're beating San Jose State by 20 at San Jose State. So I think they're hot right now. So we got to do our best to try to slow them down.
Just talk about the losing streak and what's going through your heads coming in tonight's game, and maybe a little bit more on why this was so important. What you said, the practices were a little bit harder this week. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I think there's a sense of urgency. Obviously, I think at any time you lose three games in a row and you're a really good program like we are, you're not going to accept it. So I think we did a really good job in practice, and I think early on in the game, I think we did a good job setting the tone. So once again, great job bouncing back. But losing 3 games in a row with the talent that we have should have never happened. But going and playing at San Diego State isn't easy. We dropped a home game to a really good Boise State team, and then Wyoming going to play at 7,200 feet, and then their guard play, they shot the ball really well. So we knew we had to bounce back.
How does this game just, maybe serve as a reminder after last year, after you guys got into a slump and not being able to bounce back, but being able to bounce back and know that this group can do that for either of you guys?
I think it just really shows our maturity. you know, growing from last year and like the previous years that we've been in this position. I think it just shows we can play with anybody in the country.
Jared, just to have this kind of crowd come out here tonight, given the 3-game losing streak, you know, how nice was it to see the fans showing out this evening?
It was great, and I think especially the student section, our student section, for a week or however long our break is, they weren't there. So to be able to have our first game back with the students there was great. They provided a lot of energy, especially the final 8 minutes. I know that as a player, when I go play on the road, or for us when we go play on the road, opposing crowds are up on their feet the whole time, making it hard to score baskets. And I know that our crowd did a great job tonight getting up on their feet. So hopefully we can keep that going, and it was great to be able to have the crowd that we did and win the game.
Just for either of you guys to see Tylen Pope come in off the bench, and he had some big buckets and some big minutes. How nice is it to see him kind of get into a little bit of a rhythm?
You know, Tylen puts in the work consistently. We knew it was just a matter of time. And his energy level, I don't think there's too many other players that I've played with in my career that match his energy. When he goes out there, you know, sometimes you may have to control it a little bit. You know, over a couple of games, we gave him opportunity, but it was a little slow, and he was still getting adjusted. But tonight, I mean, what a job he did to be able to come off the bench and provide the energy that he did, blocking some shots and then rebounding the ball, some strong finishes. So hopefully we can continue to get that from him. So he did a great job.
Any more questions? All right, thank you.
Yep.